The topic I'll be discussing today is the church's role during pandemics and infectious diseases. I chose this topic because I wanted to discuss how the church offers so much towards community on such a wide scale. The importance of this topic is that the church has an opportunity to show the world what healthy people do in a time of crisis. Rather than panic and absolve into self-absorption and self-protection, they run toward the needs of our culture rather than away from them. The church refuses to demonize others, but act out of the story of the Good Samaritan on a daily basis. The church councils gathered around with many churches to help people in certain communities that were going through certain diseases, such as heart disease, cancer, high blood pressure, kidney disease, and many more. The CDC created a code book to figure out how many people had a certain disease and what medications they needed to treat that. The CDC created this code book especially if a pandemic were to occur. If a pandemic had their disease listed, then they knew what medication to give them right away. The Catholic Church is always there to help those who are unemployed or those who are suffering in poverty. In our Catholic parishes, schools, charities, hospitals, and other ministries, the poor, the unemployed, and the unemployed are not issues, but people with names and faces. And it's an essential part of our work as Catholics to build a more just society and economy. We feed the hungry, shelter the homeless, educate the young, welcome refugees, and care for the sick and vulnerable. The church serves and stands in solidarity with those who are poor and jobless, helping them break the cycle of poverty and act on behalf of their own families and communities. There are 5 ways in which the Catholic Church can help serve the poor. First, we need to educate the poor about the Bible's storyline. In other words, we need to help them understand the meta-narrative of the scripture, which is God's big picture. Second, we need to educate the poor and our youth in preparation for the current and future job market. Third, we the church can also serve the poor by making our facilities accessible to them. In most cases, the biggest asset a church has is facilities, and often they are underutilized. Fourth, the church needs to serve the poor by offering educational opportunities that enable them to secure a GED and receive a personal finance training. Lastly, the church must serve the poor by providing financial resources to them in times of crisis. From a local aspect, the Catholic Church is helping the community during this pandemic by holding a food drive to help the needy. The Holy Family of Nazareth Church in Irving, Texas held a food drive, and they allowed donors to come through the parking lot to pick up any items that they needed, which consisted of dry foods, dry milk, canned meats, canned fruits and vegetables, toiletries, and cleaning products. This article related to my topic due to how on a local level, the church is providing aid to the residents in their area. On a national aspect, this article talked about how the Catholic Church provided surveys to African American churches in order to help collect data and help the CDC come with a plan on how to help their communities during a pandemic. This article related to my topic due to how the church is partaking in the role of helping churches to become more aware of pandemics and what comes with it. From a global aspect, Pope Francis mentioned how we're not cursed by God during any pandemic. He said that they have happened before and that they'll happen again. This article in particular related to my topic due to how the Catholic Church committee has been doing everything they can to help prepare for this current pandemic and any future pandemic that is yet to come. They've planned on making hospital rooms have a private setting. They plan to have a more strict hand washing protocol, wearing masks, and even creating a center to help prevent diseases. Current leaders in the Catholic Church have responded to pandemics in so many positive ways. During times of sickness, they mention how churches have offered hope, weekly devotionals, virtual Bible meetings, prayer conference calls, and gift giving to the community. The church has even responded in offering or asking for better healthcare services and establishing institutions where the people can heal but in a safe way. For example, the community Easter egg hunt was canceled because of the pandemic, so volunteers scattered eggs in families' yards, surprising each child with a personalized goodie bag. In this article, Rainy Rivers is mentioning how giving has lacked at his church ever since the shutdown. He hopes that people re-examine their ways and that in a more profound way know how to best serve Christ. Overall, the church will always provide aid and care to those who are suffering illnesses, and the church will do anything in its power to find different resources. Based on what I mentioned in the video, they work with different health organizations to help treat people that are going through diseases, people who didn't have the right health care and everything. So the church will always be there for its people and will always have the resources open.